Jesus. I mean, trust me, babe.
It's your man H-Rap coming at you live and direct. Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be another episode of Hold My Beer Sports on the End of the Bench Media. Thank you. I got a special guest. My main man, my little homie, my homeboy from Texas. You from Lancaster, Texas. Say it correct, right? I said it correct, right?
Lancaster,
Texas. My little homie CJ. We gonna do a little. He supports the show. He has his own program. What I want you to do, CJ, right now, is tell everybody the name of your show so they can subscribe. Tell a friend to tap in with you.
What's going on, man? It's your boy. CJ. But my deal is plays by CJ, as you can see on the. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a lot less. When I tell you, I get raw on my. Hold on, wait a minute, right quick. H-Rap, so on my platform, I do a lot of cursing, but I'm a refrain from doing the most because I know it's a little older audience, and you're old enough to be my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a clean it up now. If I slip up,
this is sports. People drinking sports. You're good.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, if I slip up on a few little F and S bombs, please forgive me now.
You're good, my guy.
Got you. But yeah. So all I just do on my channel, I just do a little sports. I just do a little chatting. I just give it to you real raw, and I give you that real authentic feel. And I always tell myself that this ain't journalism. What I do, and if you go to my info on my thing, it says I'm a very eccentric sports fan. That's it. I ain't the one you want to go for. No, you know what I'm saying. And I'm biased towards any baby boy. Come on now. I'm biased for any Dallas team. So Dallas Mavericks, the Cowboys, I ride and die for, and the Rangers, Stars, all that. But go ahead, H-Rap. I'm just a guest on your show. And I got my little drink with me if you don't mind.
You're good, my guy. You're good.
Okay.
Hey, by the way, your heart is on the other side of your chest.
I got them on both of them.
That's my man. You see who said hey to you.
Hey, what's going on, Miss Hale? How you doing? What's going on with you?
That's Keisha.
That's Keisha. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's going on, baby? What's going on? Hey, man, she live right across the street. She literally live on the other side of town. So what's happening? What's going on with you? What's up? But okay, word.
All right. With that being said, hey man, let's get this going. Y'all know, man, I have re-entered the sports realm. I got get tired of the amateurs. The amateurs, the hour's over. I got me and my man CJ on here. We representing. He got the Dallas County area. I got the Crook County. It ain't Cook County. It's Crook County. And we're gonna talk this thing. We're gonna talk this talk. We're gonna walk this walk. Before any people get outlined and chalk. Man, everybody, their uncle and their mama was talking about Florida State University got cheated. Now, if you watched my program before, you know that I go back to Sammy Smith and Marvin Lewis and Prime. This is pre-Prime. This freshman year Prime. I was a Florida State guy back then. I like the U too. I'm not gonna act like I ain't like the U. I'm not a Florida guy. My dad's a Florida guy. So, I got Florida ties. Florida State, their best player got hurt. He was in the conversation for Heisman. He could have been the only person to challenge my man Daniels for the Heisman Trophy. He gets injured. That knocks Florida. They struggled to beat Louisville. They struggled to beat a couple other teams. They were not going to put up points, and everybody and their uncle and their mama got all in their feelings because Florida State got left out. Me personally, I came on air and I said, no, we're not going to do that because simply here's the situation. If Florida makes it to the championship, we will get a repeat of the national championship against Georgia last year, 70-something to 0 or 70-something to 6. They proceed to get beat 63-6. Talk to me about what you saw with Florida State versus University of Georgia, and the nonsense that everybody and their mom was talking about. Let me hear what your opinions are, bro.
Man, y'all.
You got it, hey man.
I'm
This ain't build and destroy, man.
All right, word. Okay, I just want to make sure because you know how you get. You know, you know how you get.
You
Hey, just a little background. Ever since I got invited to H-Raps does another show on Mondays, it's called The Forecast. I got invited one time because I think I was going too much. They said we ain't getting this nigga back on. He said he tweaking. He on some other shit. He started talking, but no, I got you. But
look at the name. Hold my beer. Hold my beer. That means we drinking. We cussing. We acting a fool. I can't cuss.
By the way, we got it mixed up. You know, hey, this is just a little gem. Get you some Deep Eddy, get you some Long Island, get you a little, you know what I'm saying? But all right, but anyway, back to the real. So what ended up happening? I ain't gonna lie. You know, you called it, H-Rap. Your boy, I don't know who was it that was on your last episode that was saying, I don't know, maybe if they might prove something. And I was, you know what? They had me kind of fooled. I said, because they were so mad the other day, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know what? Hey, Florida, it's your time to show out. When I tell you, them niggas couldn't even hold a candle to Georgia. You see, well, you know what I seen? I seen a varsity team versus the freshmen. That's what I seen. You know how in sports, how everybody can't play on the varsity level. And you know what? You just got proved why. And that's what Florida did. I just, and then especially because the quarterback didn't play. The quarterback. And you know what? Quarterback in there looking, he looking like, damn. Towel on his head, them play. Georgia ripped the soul out them boys in the second half. Hell, in the first quarter. It wasn't even close. Matter of fact,
quarter.
Yes. Bro, when I tell you, like, whoever that was going for Florida State, if you from Florida, if you from the Dale, from whatever, but them boys can't hold a candle to Georgia. And it's something different about them boys. And Georgia has proven that consecutively. So I don't know what y'all thought was going to happen, but I had Georgia.
See, this thing, CJ, look, when you're looking at sports is a competitive situation. And as you said, everybody can't make the varsity. Some of us are lucky enough as freshmen to make the varsity. Some of us never make the varsity, and we just continue to play. This is the difference in the big boys and the little boys. This is the difference in junior college and major college. This is the difference in mid-majors like Miami of Ohio and a major like Ohio State. They could look Florida State in the eye, man for man, in regards to their players. It's not like Florida State is the poop butt league, but when you don't have the dude who pulled the trigger, you're not gonna win. Now, if you've gone through your entire season and you bum rushing people and you dominating college football with that porous quarterback play, then you've adapted to their situation. Georgia went in there fully healthy. Florida State, their most valuable player, did not play. So how could you possibly assume that they're going to be able to keep up with a team that has lost one game, 2 games in the last 3 years, 1 game in the last 365 days? It's not going to happen. And what I really respected, and then he made me lose all the respect for him, is Kirby Smart didn't complain, didn't piss, didn't moan that he didn't make it, because he understood the game that was going to be the game that decide if Alabama or them went to the national championship series. And we'll talk about that in a second. Was the game with them head to head with Alabama? They lost. What people don't realize is this. And I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but after we had that conversation, I'm almost sure that you are aware of it. What they need to do, Florida State lost 29 players via the transfer portal and the draft. 29 players. It's 100 players on a big-time college football team. That's a little more than 25% of your players. Just for argument's sake, let's just say it was 25% of your team that's not going to be there. So again, you're not going to get that opportunity. But even with their transfer portal, Kirby Smart came out and said that we need to do something about the transfer portal. See, this is what I don't like about big-time college sports. It was all fun when y'all had the gun and was aiming it at people. But now that these young people got the gun and I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it, no, you're not going to put constraints on these young men or these young women for that matter, because I'm the show. People don't come to see H-Rap, they come to see CJ. CJ is a 22, 21, 19, 21, 22, 23-year-old man. I'm a 50-year-old man. I'm the coach. Nobody cares who I am. They care about CJ. So with that being said, in order to make this thing right, what they're going to have to do is, last time I checked, college as an institution, school, academia starts at the beginning of August. That's when the football season needs to start. Day before yesterday, when we saw Michigan play Alabama, and then we saw Washington play Texas, those should have been the last games. That should have been the last game of the year. If you want to make this thing right, and so kids won't be transferring on Christmas break, because what you're going to have to do is start in August. You got 12 games. You already got the 12 game. You already got a 12-game season plus the playoffs now. Everything needs to be summed up the last week of the year. They carefully place games throughout the football season so the NFL doesn't clash with the NCAA. You notice the last 3 weeks of the season, the NFL plays on Saturdays. That's because the NFL don't want to clash with them. So if you really want this thing to work like you claim you do, what you're going to have to do is start the season earlier. Then the transfer portal won't be an issue. But until they fix that, it's going to continue to be an issue. The transfer portal is only an issue because if the kids at Florida State that moved to University of Illinois, that moved to Michigan, that moved to USC, that moved to Alabama, Georgia, Texas, so forth and so on throughout the country, they started school yesterday. So how am I going to be playing in a bowl game, but I'm supposed to be on campus? I'm supposed to be finding housing on campus and things of that nature. Fix this. Stop talking about NIL is ruining the game. And you can expound on what I just said. NIL is ruining the game. The transfer portal is ruining the game. No, y'all been pimping for so long. Y'all just don't like the fact that the hoes got some money now. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? In the words of what you call it, it's the one scene off the Mac when I remember and see, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I remember the Mac. Well, let me pause. I don't remember the Mac.
Yes, you do. Let's stop correcting yourself. Speak. No, this ain't class. This is not class. This is us kicking it.
Listen, so my dad watched by the way, if y'all don't know, I'm 26. My dad is 57 years old, and my mom is about 53. So I'm a 90s, you know what I'm saying? But one of his old time that he used to watch with his mama. My grandmama was the Mac, and it was a scene on there when the baby girl came back and chose Goldie, right? She was like, well, I choose you. You know what I'm saying? And just like how you said, hey, they just mad because the hoes got some money now. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's about time. I felt like this should have been going on. You know what I'm saying? I felt like it was an issue when they stopped, because I used to love playing NCAA football and basketball. You know what I'm saying?
My two favorite video games.
Right. So I feel like this whole transfer portal and they quote unquote messing, it ain't messing nothing up. It's you starting to realize, and people don't think about it like this. Some of these kids, they don't come from a lot of money. So if you tell a kid, hey, and obviously if he's a 4-star, 5-star at his local high school and that can make millions in college, shit, that's how he gonna eat. That is how he's, if he can't do it academically, which I still support, get your degree. Now don't get it twisted. If you got the athletic ability, go get, go make your millions first, then come back to it. Because at the end of the day, that degree ain't gonna pay them bills. Them millions that you gonna make right then and there, you know what I'm saying? So try telling that to the kid that he been working on the the slant route all day. That can catch a ball and try to tell him, well, this transfer portal nonsense is not fair. Y'all ain't being loyal to the game. No, You niggas ain't been loyal to the game. Y'all taking money out. Hell, our likeness. The college players' likeness. So, hey, don't get mad, because, now we can make money. Now I see why Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, which I ain't going to speak into that too much, but I see why they don't want to go to the WNBA now. Shit, and they making all this money now. Hell, you watch about where them girls and where them children came from before this. Man, I'll be one selfish motherfucker. Yeah.
But the thing is, and like you said, it's not even being selfish. How many times you're a sports fan and you're a very knowledgeable young sports fan, and don't even correct yourself anymore. Be yourself. I want you to be CJ. You ain't on here to be Brian Gumble. You're not on here to be Greg Gumble, James Brown. You're on here to be CJ. So don't correct yourself anymore. Right. But like you said, man, it was cool when y'all was sneaking me $10,000. It was cool when y'all was at my school giving $50 and $200 handshake. That was cool. It was real cute and cuddly. But now, as you stated, as Angel Reese can get a $4 million deal, Caitlin Clark can get a $4 million deal, and these student athletes are realizing, look, at the end of the day, man, look, my college education was wonderful. The time, the studying I did, it was great to be frank, and I'm not bragging. I'm not knocking at my sisters and brothers. I'm my mother's only college educated child. My grandparents, I'm their second college educated grandson, and on both sides, it's a beautiful situation. It's a wonderful accomplishment. But at the end of the day, if I had the bread, imagine if I was your age and I wanted to be a sports announcer. I told my mother when I was 10, I wanted to be a sports announcer, right? Imagine if I had $600K right now, $600,000. The platform will be larger. I can not work and do what I have to do to support my loved ones. And I could invest an entire day into what I want to do. So college education is awesome. But you know what else is awesome? The opportunity to earn as much as you humanly can. Because I don't know what nobody else is thinking, but Angel Reese gonna get $4 million. Angel Reese gonna be 25, 23, 24 years old when she leaves LSU, right? She's 22, 23 years old. If you spend $150,000 a year, that's a $7 million. That's a $7 million bucket. So if I have $150,000 a year at my disposal for the next 30 years, what am I doing with that $30 million? You know what I've done? Just imagine, just in our small circle. I know Ben introduced me to Dr. Wilkes. They introduced me to you, so forth and so on. I have family in Texas. Look at the network that we've built of people. Then you got people like my man Deacon Dale in Baltimore. I got my man Ray Kev in Arlington. He's from Louisiana. If you have money, I can touch people that we never thought we could touch. We love to speak about our academics, which are excellent. Learning is the lifeblood of it's the key to life. It's the blood of life. Don't get me wrong. But money and opportunity presents a whole nother situation. So to try to curtail these young people's ability to earn is insane. Look, this is the beautiful thing. If I was a paleontologist, a person who's studying the discovery of dinosaurs, right? I can leave school and go run a museum at age 20. You're the number one guy in that field. If I'm a computer scientist and I'm coding, I'm doing super dope coding. You know what they do? I used to work for this company called Reuters, the largest media organization on earth. You know what the people at Reuters would do? Yo, Rap, come on over here. We're gonna give you $250,000 to do this job. And nobody says anything. So don't get mad at these young athletic people for earning as much as they can, and don't try to curtail it. Don't try to put blocks in the way. We're not doing that. So as you stated, it wasn't cool. It was cool as long as the young, and let's really keep it funky. It's cool as long as the young brothers and sisters ain't getting no money, because you hear about Angel Reese, but because we're sports fans, we know who Caitlin Clark is. I bet you the ladies in the chat room don't know who she is, unless they're sports fans. I'm clearly a sports fan, but me and you immerse ourselves in sports. It's a lot. Look, I bet you nobody, and maybe not even you, an informed sports fan. It was a young lady, won 3 gold medals in the last Olympics in swimming. She was at Stanford University, one of the most prestigious universities on earth. You know what she did after she
What
won
she
those
do?
3 gold medals? She quit school and went to Europe and earned money as the same swimmer as she is in the Olympics. Nobody talks
Mm.
about that. Tiger Woods, he went to Stanford, but he could have left and became a pro at age 14. Serena and Venus, nobody talks about that they didn't go to college.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Andre Agassi didn't go to college. There's a million young people that don't go to college and they go into other fields and including other realms of athleticism, and they are not talked about. But when our young people get these same opportunities, now you want to curtail it. Now you want to put boundaries around it. Tell you what, move your window to earn to late July, early August, and we don't have no problem. And we won't have no problem. And at the end of the day, and then we're gonna move on to the Texas Washington game.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bottom line. You don't go to college to get the education. You go to college to make acquaintances. Your richest people in the world, Bill Gates, dropped out of college. Steve Jobs dropped out of college. I don't even know if Warren Buffett went to college. And I'm not, again, college was a wonderful time. You meet great people. But at the end of the day, it's about who you know, not what you know. If you know the right people, you can get where you need to be. And as of recently, I have started connecting with the people. So I'm gonna be in a different situation soon. With that being said, Florida State, Texas and Washington. Talk to me about that game. What did you see that you didn't expect, or what did you enjoy the most about the game? Shoot.
Man, it was down to the buzzer beater, man. First off, they need to get that nigga Ervers, or whatever his name is. Hey, go ahead and get that Manning boy. Go ahead and get because that's Archie's Manning's son. Because Peyton and Eli's
No.
kid.
That's their brother's son. The brother who hurt his back and I did not able to make it. His name is Archie, the second named after his grandfather.
Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me clarify. Yeah, so not the Archie Manning. I'm talking about Archie Manning Jr. So they need to start, yeah, right. So they need to go ahead and get his son, go ahead and get him up in there. I ain't gonna lie. Ervers, I'm not a fan. So I wasn't sold on him like how I was sold with Sam Ellington, or Sam Ellinger. I don't know if you remember who Sam Ellinger was from. Okay, got you. So I wasn't quite sold on errors or whatever, but frankly, that Washington, even though it came to the final minute, Michael Penix Jr., he was obviously the better quarterback. I feel like that day. I feel like Texas defense wasn't. I mean, they've never. Not to say they've never been good, but when you play in football, when you play an outstanding offense, your defense has to be outstanding. This ain't like basketball. Basketball is it's a little bit more individualized. A little bit more individualized.
A lot more. I would say.
Yeah, right. But with football, if you have a offensive juggernaut of a team like a Georgia, like a Washington, and if your defense is not on that same level, it's going to be a very difficult game. And I feel like that's what happened with the Longhorns. And it came down to the final play. They quote unquote, and I don't want to say quote unquote, well, they did, unfortunately, due to somebody else's injury, because the player got injured, so they had to burn, a timeout, an injury timeout. But Texas was moving it down the field, and at the end of the day, when it comes to college football, when the NFL scouts are looking to say, hey, at this point, I don't give a damn how you get it done. I just need you to get it done. Texas couldn't pull through, and the way that corner, he blocked up, he almost had it, and just, you know what I'm saying? Like when they used to do the game neck, when you got a fresh cut, when they say fresh cut, that's what happened to the boy got fresh cut it from behind. But here's something I did take away, and I did notice. Washington let the game slip. Let the game slip. And like the Ravens, which I don't know why the Ravens do when they up, they get the slipping. They you know, and you can't play in just football. You can't play soft coverage. If I was Washington, I would have been playing man, which is you're literally right within the 5-yard lines, and you telling him everywhere you go. You started playing soft coverages. I don't know why would you play soft coverages when they had 2 wide receivers. They had that one. I can't think of his name right here. But they had that one wide receiver from Texas that was making,
Johnson.
Yes. Okay, yeah. So you got him making plays. Why are you playing off man coverage? That means you're gonna allow him to make his move and then get to the first down easily. But I feel like with Michigan, that may be a problem.
We're gonna get to Michigan in a second.
Okay, I got you. But just my final thoughts. Michael Penix Jr. played an outstanding. He did his thing. I'm gonna just say that he did his thing, and I'm.
In my personal opinion, like you keep saying you're not old enough. I'm not old enough to remember Warren Moon playing in college. I was 8-9 years old. I'm not gonna have an accurate recollection. Yeah. Michael Penix Jr. is the second coming of Warren Moon. The reason, this is what we follow each other on TikTok. And if you remember, if you saw my early one of my very first TikTok videos is me being online talking about the NFL, talking about the running game in football. I talked about the running game will be revitalized this year because if you pay attention to the running game, then you will continue to realize why these games are being lost. These games are being lost. Like you said, why you playing soft coverage? It's a smart play in theory to play the soft coverage. You play the soft coverage. So CJ, we going to CJ. I know I want y'all to go to CJ. CJ, y'all best athlete. But I want to tackle CJ. The plan is to tackle CJ after a 3-yard reception, and the clock keeps running. And then you run out the game. The difference in the football that was played in the 90s and the early 2000s and in the last decade and this decade is this. The running game used to bleed you out. You had an Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman get up 12. If Troy Aikman is up 2 scores and the Cowboys get the ball back, we handed this thing to Emmitt. The Detroit Lions, we handed this thing to Barry, the greatest show on turf, Marshall Faulk. People don't realize. You look at Isaiah Akeem, you look at Torrey Holt, you look at Isaac Bruce, and that's where you thought the money was made. The money was made with Marshall Faulk, though, because all you need in football, as a former defender, this is all you need in football. You need the linebackers, the safeties, and the DBs to do this. That's all you need. Literally. I just need you to do this. Like, I'll use an analogy. If you haven't played extensive football, I'll give you a better analogy using your sport. You don't jab to knock nobody out. You jab to make him blink. So the left for the right. You jab to the left so he can blink. And when he blink or moves, he moves right. You might jab on this side of his face, but you coming with the overhand right, because now he's going to do this and walk right into your right. Just like that, you make the defender needs to do this. That's all he needs to do. When you make the defender do this, you won on offense. Because if I do this, if I go hike and I turn, and I don't even have to really be getting ready to give it to CJ, but if I make the world believe I'm giving it to CJ and CJ cuff and look forward and run, if the linebacker do this, game over. The dude over the top. That's why they check you in 40 time, because if you can get to a spot in 40 seconds, most quarterbacks don't even. Do you know, CJ, that most quarterbacks are never thrown into CJ or H-Rap? You know who they throwing it to? Where they think you're going to be.
Yeah.
It's called a blind throw. And that's where football has gotten away from that. And the reason that game was over is because their running back kept getting the hamstring pulls and the ankle twists. So they had to take him out the game. And that stops the clock.
Say, H-Rap, quick question, right? So this is just a football question, right? So here's why I was confused, right? Because they had Texas, I think it was about like maybe 50 seconds. They kept, it was like a minute and 20, but they kicked the field, so it was like 50-something seconds, right? When I was looking up until that wide receiver made that catch, was wondering, as a defensive guy, now mind you, I'm an athlete. I played football, basketball, and I did track. Now, was football my best sport? Absolutely not. But I was hella athletic. I was a wide receiver, right? So third string. I'll keep the buck. So when I seen Washington, they were playing off coverage. So they're playing off man coverage, which means they're not pressing, they're not right in their face. And my thought, I was thinking, okay, maybe they may not believe in errors like that to get it down there into, because what I was taught is if they playing off coverage, they like, and my coach would say, you should almost, depend on the situation, you should almost take offense to that. Maybe, because maybe they don't believe, now if they playing you press, man, they playing you, you're right within the same. So I was looking at that, and I'm like, Washington, I'm like, why aren't you playing, well, I'm sorry, first, and I think I took some notes. First, they started in a, I don't want to say, I don't remember if it was a cover.
It was a cover two.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, you gotcha. A cover two, which means you got two safeties, back, and I'm thinking, okay, so y'all gonna let them keep this space? Maybe y'all don't believe, right? Boom. Irvers for a quick second start throwing darts, and then he make that one big throw, and you put it in a man, right? I was thinking, why didn't you press? Why didn't you? You need to have that. You need to be, well, at least I was thinking that you should have, if you would have maybe pressed them wide receivers, because to be honest, Texas only had about maybe 2 wide receivers I seen that could possibly do. The other 2, they didn't have the the skills like that.
Right. They were younger.
So coming from you, why why would they play off coverage up until that point? Then they said, hey, after that, that's when they said, oh shit, okay, let's all go ahead.
You play press coverage. Okay, when you're in the thick of things, you play press coverage to throw off the timing. Press coverage is to slow down timing, because everything happens within 3 to 4 seconds on a football player. A football player is only like 9 seconds of play. The entire play, a good play, is 9 seconds. Think about it like this. The quarterback, when you say height, is 1, 2, 3, depending on the offense, throw. If that's not there, and then you throw to the secondary man, that's 2.5 seconds. So if you playing a cover 2 shell, the goal is to make a mistake. Can you? And we're gonna talk about Dak a little later. And this is why Dak needs the praise instead of the criticism. Everything is timing. So if I allow you to catch the football, when you are losing a football game, the clock is not your friend. The clock is your enemy. So if I fall back up off you, what happens is they throw to you the short hook. They throw you what is called a hitch.
Yeah, the hitch. Yeah.
Bam. You catch the hopefully the plan, the goal is to catch the hitch on the inside of the stripes. I'll run through you. If I tackle you on the numbers, now guess what? It takes about 12 seconds for everybody to run into place, and then it's just tick, 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 tick. So we're not going to press. You have a better chance of making the greatest cook, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, John Elway, Warren Moon, Randall Cunningham, Steve McNair. I will take my chances making them do 17-play drives versus trying to press, because CJ, all it takes is for me to lose balance, for me to lose slip, and I'm reading the big numbers. You always want to tackle the little numbers. The numbers on the front are this big, the numbers on the back go from shoulder to hip. Shoulder to mid back. The numbers on the front is belly to the chest. Tackle the little numbers, not the big numbers. You press, you're gonna be looking at his last name or the big numbers, depending on.
You know what? You know what? And just a little football 101, just because we talking. You want to read that or?
No, go ahead.
No. Yeah, and just. Well, I was only saying to press. Now you're right. Now with a man press, you do got a chance of your ass getting one shake move and because you're in the press and in a possible a cover two, that you're free, and you better hope you got a dope ass free safety, because even in a cover two, he's gone like that. He's gone. The wide receiver, he makes one good move. If you got a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, a CeeDee Lamb, some of them make them quick little steps, and then boom,
and it's a wrap.
out of that. Yeah, it's a wrap. But I felt like, which is a form, which is, we can talk about defensive formations all day long, all night long, but I felt like they should have got into some. It's a variation of like a cover two or a cover three, to where Nick Saban and Bill Belichick made it kind of famous, to where it's like, and maybe if I'm explaining right, to where the safeties. So it's like on each end of on the left side, it's like you got the safety almost somewhat supporting, just in case if that DB or that corner gets burnt, he's right there. But I felt like that was a little weird. But I felt like after because it was about maybe 3 throws, Erger's throws, he was getting it down the field.
But that's the goal. I want you to complete passes. Because if you complete passes, tick, 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 tick. But if I press you and I press CJ give me a move, next thing you know, we running stride for stride. If the quarterback throw me open, I'm just beat you down the field.
Yeah. Well.
So, but
yeah.
You want people to do 8-10 yards at a time. I need you to take 8 to 10 yard chunks out the field, because look, okay, and we're gonna fast forward to the Cowboys for a second.
Yeah.
Remember, the Cowboys should have won by 7 more than they won, but CeeDee Lamb fumbled the ball into the end zone for a touchback. That's why I want you to walk up the field, because you may fumble, you may slip and fall, I might sack you. Anything can happen in a series of plays, but if I play press and you beat me, it's a wrap. It's done immediately. So I'll make you work for your money. And that's why they didn't press. That's why they didn't. You don't press. When I got the lead, the clock is my friend. Go ahead, CJ. I give you 8 yards. That's why you don't see a whole lot of running with the lead either. That's why you don't see a lot of running in the lead. What kills me is DB plays 15 yards back. You play 15, 15 yards back. That's way too much. Only time that's that stupid prevent defense. And when you're playing the prevent defense, you know what the cliche is. The prevent don't do nothing to prevent you from winning. You play back. That cover two, the zone defense is you playing a zone. I'm playing you. And I'm playing 10 yards this way. I'm playing 10 yards back. Once I get 10 yards, I stop. Because if I don't stop, the tight end get the ball. The flanker get the ball. I'm not defending a person. I'm defending an area. So I'm not playing 15 yards off unless it's the last play of the game. Then I'm going all the way back. And then I'm going to catch you before you tackle the ball. But that's why they do it that way. And again, going back to what I said initially, if you start running the football, again, man, CJ, I'm telling you, man, next time you watch a football game and they show the instant replay, watch the DBs. When they handle the DBs and the linebackers, my man D-Gray, who talking to us, he used to play linebacker. And I guarantee you, he can confirm this. If when they do play action, that's all you need the linebackers and the DBs to do is that. One hat, a flinch, and it's over your head, man. Think about it, man. I run 40 yards. The average person in big time college football runs 40 yards every 4.5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm halfway up the field. So if I get you to do this, he passed you. And or he even. And you know what they say, if we even, I'm leaving. Oh, you played corner. My fault. I'm at DB. I thought she was a D-grade. I thought she was a DB for whatever reason. I thought she was a linebacker for whatever reason. My bad.
Hey, also just a quick look. And also just a quick in this. is no shade. It ain't no shade. But back in the days to where maybe, and I know I'm skipping timelines a little bit, but like the Jerry Rice, and they see I'm about to skip the Randy Mosses, the Terrell Owens, which you know me, I'm big ass. Time out. Hey, so out here in Dallas, they sell them damn TO jersey with the mesh out there in goddamn Fiesta. But when I tell you, meaning it is so difficult, which now I see why you want to play, because I was responding to, when he was saying why deep. Now, 15 yards, that's a little asinine. Unless like the very last play of the game, I ain't playing 15 yards. Probably 10 is about the max I'm going to give you. These wide receivers have so much moves in their bag back in the day, and I was watching, I was watching back when the Jerry Rices, the receivers of the 90s, it was just that slant. Boom, they were quick. Nowadays, with these
skinny
post, not the deep post, versus nowadays, what you got these jumping Jeffersons to see. Hell, even the Des Bryants, that quick look, hell, even take it back to the Chad Ochocinco's with that little quick little 1-2
step.
That's
why you play off, because I'm gonna force you to see. Here's the thing: I'm gonna either force you to the out of bounds line, and you're gonna step on that white line in the pros, and now they can't even throw it to you. Or I'm gonna force you to the middle of the field, and it's 8 dudes over there. You ain't got that much wiggle. That's the thinking. You don't have that much wiggle. Jerry didn't have that much wiggle. T.O. didn't have that much. The playmaker that you ain't got that much wiggle to out wiggle.
Yeah, he didn't have.
No, none of them have that much wiggle. So
no, they did.
If I force you to the middle of the field, we getting you. That's the thinking. But sometimes, angles is everything. If you take the wrong angle, you chasing the big numbers. Back in the day, we would beat them off 5 yards. With great wide receiver had to be smart. And that's the key, CJ. See, the thing is, man, you must learn your craft. CJ is to the point where I can watch a football game to this very day. I ain't touched a football in 1,000 years. My son 30. Last time I touched a football, I was messing with him.
Hey, BJ turned 30.
We just turned 30 in September. So you know how long it's been since I touched a football. My nephew, Cantrell, he in Virginia. So he was the only other football player. Everybody else in my family played basketball. So ain't nobody got enough wiggle to get past you. So we going to force you into these situations. And like I was about to say, I could watch a football. We watched so much film back in the day that I could watch a football game now. As a matter of fact, I was messing around on DraftKings the other day, and I won like $12 because I was betting 50 cents a bet on that game on the next play. For real, you play 50 cents, you win 85, 90 cents. I won $12 just predicting the next play. Because when you see the formation, you recognize it. Hey man, rest in peace of my coach Jimmy Fields. And I quote, Brian, all the plays work. It's about execution. And that's all it was. Oh, that's the same one. With that being said, let's go ahead to that Michigan-Alabama game. One of the best bowl games I've seen in a very long time. 2 monster teams matched up against each other. People are saying Coach Saban got out-coached. Initially, I was thinking it. I didn't want to say it out loud because I have a whole lot of respect for Nick Saban. The reason I respect Nick Saban so much is because he kept it old school. Real players want to get coached. You ain't trying to, you a boxer. You ain't trying to hear your trainer go, come on, CJ, please. Can you please put that jab out there? Or do you want to say, look, man, if you don't want to get your teeth knocked out, you're going to keep pumping that jab. Because if you don't keep pumping that jab, he going to pop you in your mouth. All that warm and cuddly. That's why I like Nick Saban. But I also like Jim Harbaugh. I'm an old school dude. I'm a dude who come from the old school. So these 2 guys matching up was the matchup that I would have preferred to see in the national championship. Talk to me about what you saw and what you like.
Yeah, just want to kind of, saying, get a little. I don't agree with that very last play. I mean, don't get it twisted. James Milroe is a hell of an athlete, and if you ask me, I'm calling it now. I don't want to say this year's QBs I'm not really feeling it. It's all right. But I don't feel like bro was at fourth and what fifth? Like bro was at fourth and five, and you want to do a QB draw. You want to go straight to man. I would have rather respected him at least. I don't know, maybe spinning out the pocket and maybe being an improviser, because and just say quote unquote, that's what we're known for. Black us Russell Wilson. Hey, Russell Wilson, one of, if you ask me, one of, you know what, hold on, pause, Michael Vick, before he started doing, now, and hold on, and just FYI, here's the best thing about Michael Vick. Dude could spin out the pocket and had a killer left arm. Could throw that thing. Shit. Hey, just like a Nerf football with the little thing.
With the little arrow on the back. Yeah, right. I know those joints.
Right. But anyway, that play, I wouldn't have called. I wouldn't have called that. And listen, and this is defensive formation. I looked at the defense, and the defense kind of, I almost want to say, yeah, it's like they seen it coming. Well, and you know what? Here's how I knew it seen it coming, because they played their wide receiver soft. They played that, and I'm like, hey,
in a goal line situation. You're right.
Yeah,
that's the time that no matter what it is, you press. You're 100% correct. Indeed.
You know what? And I was like, why are y'all playing this soft? And I'm like, oh, they must know. And you know what I said? And I said, Jim Harbaugh is gonna look either real retarded or he's gonna look really smart, because they were playing that real. Now, granted, but it was soft. It wasn't that man right in your face, just like how we was talking about like 20 minutes ago. No, they played it soft because they seen it coming. They said, you know what? James Milroe is known for running it straight up the middle, and you know what? It was zero airspace. Got him right there. That was a call. That was a call that cost him. And I didn't like that overall. But now, it was a very entertaining game. I liked it. If you ask me, I'm my stuff for the next part. But Jim Harbaugh looked like a genius out there. The way he was able, and that's the thing. So I'm a sports guy. So whether it's the 2-3 zone in basketball, or if it's a jab right hook, well, I just did an uppercut, or rather that is the basic defense in football, which is a 4-3. I'm gonna know, or try to know, all that. With that being said, the way Jim Harbaugh knew that was like, if you ask me, I texted my boy. I said, bro, he had to have seen that coming, because there's no way, and he seen it coming, and he stopped him right there. So Jim Harbaugh gets all the credit right there. James Milroe, he's a hell of an athlete, and I hope he does his thing in the league. I hope he does.
Well, he's only a sophomore. He's a redshirt sophomore. He got 3 years to play potentially.
Oh, well, yeah, okay. Well, never mind. Okay, well, then, yeah.
My man Ernest said that he got out-coached at the end of the game. D. Gray said the snap threw off the play, and then he said Milroe looked upset when he left the field. And he could have been the play call. Oh, okay. With me, I totally agree with everybody in the conversation. Thank you guys for support. Hit that like button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tap in. Oh, so my man Nick Saban, I do believe he got out coached. And you tapped on something that I've been saying for a while. I recently saw a podcast with Cam Newton. Shout out to Cam Newton and Robert Griffin III. And they were talking about the fact that these guys are not coaching black quarterbacks. They don't know how to coach black quarterbacks. And at this point, after looking at Nick Saban, I would say that I would agree with that. Because, as you stated, brothers at quarterbacks are traditionally mobile. Warren Moon said he dumbed down his mobility so they wouldn't try to move him to wide receiver. So he didn't run the 40 as fast as he could have. So when you're in those situations, all I would say is this. Looking at that, Nick Saban, even though old school is the way, I'm old school. I love old school. I'm ground and pound 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You run to win, you throw to score. That is embedded in my football mentality, right? But at the same time, Nick, you are going to have to get. Ironically, Steve Sarkisian would have called a better play. He used to be Nick Saban's offensive coordinator, the head coach in Texas. That was Nick Saban's play call. If he was coaching, they would have called what is called a quarterback waggle, when you float the pocket to the left or float the pocket to the right, depending upon the hash that you're on, and you make the defense adjust to you. And as athletic as Milroe is, if my man Milroe gets into a situation, then he can cut up the middle. Or if he sees somebody making the half a step to get in front, he could throw the ball. This was a poor decision made by our man Nick Saban at the end of that game, and it cost him the game. Somebody mentioned the snap. D-Grade mentioned the snap. I don't have confidence in my quarterback decision. Maybe, but see, the thing is, what I will come back with that is, if you don't have confidence in Milroe, I don't have confidence in my play caller, simply because how is it that you get 5 sacks in the first quarter? They had 5 sacks against Buddy in the first quarter. How is it that you don't make them respect it? You are supposed to earn the ability to rush the passer. And what I mean by earn the ability to rush the passer is this. If you know we throwing the ball, the defensive ends, I remember being in a huddle and hearing guys say, I'll meet you at the quarterback, because we knew they were going to throw it. So, but if you again, that's that half. Remember, I said that flinch. If I don't have any terror of you handing that football off, then I'm just gonna run at the quarterback and knock his block off. And that's what Nick had too much confidence, I believe, early in the game in Milroe. And see, this is what our young brother here in Chicago, Justin Fields, said. I was out here thinking too much. People say, hey, no, don't say that. But it's read and react. If you thinking on if you're a boxer, if you out there thinking, okay, it's time for me to throw my, that's what's gonna happen. Should I throw? Or if you see him move, you just reacted to his moves. Football and baseball and basketball are the same thing. If you are out there thinking about the next thing you're gonna do, you're gonna get your block knocked off. Period. And that's where they put Milroe at. If you notice, after the half, what did Nick come out there doing? He's stuffing it in the running back stomach for the third quarter. That's how they got back in the game, and that's how they actually took the lead. And if you remember, guess what? Jim Harbaugh got the lead back by stuffing it in their running back stomach. Man, I don't care what the sport is. In tennis, we saw Serena play the last Grand Slam when she was in the Australian Open.
Yeah.
She was killing that young girl, and that young girl started volleying with her. She got tired. Game over. If you a boxer, what they tell you, go hit the body, and then the head gonna fall. If you in baseball, people think, man, he got a strong arm. No, it ain't about your arm. It's about your legs. When your legs get tired, your fastball go from 95 miles per hour to 92 to 87 miles per hour, and then that ball becomes a souvenir. Basketball, people think, oh man, Steph Curry, he can kill it. And people, y'all just hating on Steph Curry. Back in the day, he'd have been killing. No, he wouldn't have been, because Steph Curry would have had to check Isaiah Thomas or Joe Dumars. He would have had to check Tim Hardaway or Mitch Richmond. He'd have had to check Rod Strickland or Clyde Drexler. He would have had to check Drazen Petrovic or Kenny Anderson. You're tired at the end of the game. The difference in you hitting your shot is literally this much. You see this? That's a quarter of an inch. If you usually jump 8 inches off the ground to hit your jump on a regular basis, when you tired, you're only getting 6 inches off the ground, which means you go from excellent to very good. If you go from excellent to very good, I got you. You lose. Game over. If you go from excellent jump shot to very good jump shot, we winning. And just like what Harbaugh did, if we keep punching you in the stomach with this running back, y'all can stop him at the 3 yards. Y'all can stop him at the 2 yards. But by the time the fourth quarter go, what did you see the Alabama defensive linemen doing? Holding their shorts. And when you see defensive linemen holding their shorts, We finna throw it now. And the DBs out there, they tired. Their legs tired. Game over. Nick, you did a hell of a job coaching up Miro. Keep coaching him up. He was pissed off at the end of the game. That snap was horrible, as D. Gray said. It was a lack of confidence, as Big Illinois said. But at the end of the day, I don't care who you are, where you are. And we get on that Cowboy thing, I'm gonna talk about that. Running game is paramount. Shout out to all the running backs. Shout out to Joseph. Shout out to my man up in New York, Quads. They call him Quads. What's his name? Number 34 for the Giants. Can't think of his name right. Saquon Barkley. Joseph, and Cook, Dalvin Cook. All these running backs, they're gonna get paid this year. But I said that again, referring back to our TikTok. I said that at the beginning of last year. What's gonna happen is they're gonna get next year's running backs at last year's prices, and that's all they're trying to do. With that being said, you got Michigan Wolverines versus the Washington Huskies. Talk to me who you got, and then we moving on.
People. I might catch made for this, but we on this third of this shot, baby. I've been drinking the whole time. Fuck it. We got, I'm rolling with Jim. I'm rolling with Jim Harbaugh. It's something I like. I love Michael Penix Jr., man. He had an outstanding game, 420 or 430 yards? It was like 430, I want to say.
I thought it was 420. We're in 400 plus yards.
Hey, 400 plus live, 400 PM, man. So, outstanding quarterback. But I feel their debacle at the end was like, because had homeboy made that catch, it would have been a done deal. So I would hope this week, that defensive coordinator would have said, hey, we gotta play smart. Not play hard, but we gotta play smart. And I feel like with Michigan, it's just something, and I said that when Jim Harbaugh was out, whatever, he had his off the field incidents or whatever. I felt right. So I got Michigan. Yeah, I got Michigan. I'm gonna stand on that. Bad 5. Hey, I better see C Webb and I know it's a totally different sport, but shit, I better see C Rose and Jalen Williams up in there. Yeah,
because one of the Bad 5 coached the basketball team.
Yes, sir.
But I'm with you, man. I totally agree. I do like Jim Harbaugh. He's a former Chicago Bear. He's always been I was digging him when he was coaching the 49ers. I'm digging him now because they tripping. They suspended him 3 games. You ready for the reason they suspended 3 games? Because he bought a young man a cheeseburger. They've been jamming him up all year. This whole sign stealing thing, that's a joke. See, the thing that be pissing me off about modern sports today, and this is the over coverage of sports, if you ask me, CJ. When you're watching these games, everybody is always in their feelings about he's cheating, bruh. It used to be a saying: if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
You ain't trying.
So I ain't trying to hear this. Y'all want to make it warm and cuddly. Sports ain't warm and cuddly. It's ugly and funky. It's ugly and it's funky. I'm rocking with Jim. The way they played him, like even with this sign stealing thing, if y'all want to say he was stealing signs, are cool, and no control, no structural control over the organization, I can get that. You are responsible for everybody and everything. You're the head coach, cool. But the way they played, it was real sour. They waited for Jim Harbaugh to get on a plane to go to Happy Valley, Pennsylvania. And people who know the ins and outs of Happy Valley, Pennsylvania, is this: when you get off the plane to go to Penn State, you got to ride another hour to get to the game. Y'all could have told that man before they left, look, you ain't in and we in. But the way my racism is set up, I got the root for Michael Penix Jr. This is just the way it is, man.
That's fine.
I got the root for
I respect it.
I got the roof for, but I do want, in a little way, I want Harbaugh to win, man, and just stick it in the eye of the man. With that being said, let's move on to the National Football League. Let's go with your hometown, your team, the Dallas Cowboys versus Detroit Lions. The referees everybody is saying the referees blew the game. First and foremost, I want to make this statement, and then the floor is yours. NFL, y'all a joke. Y'all turning this into WWE. How is it that you're the only organization y'all are making literally, y'all on y'all way to becoming trillionaires? Y'all about to make $50 billion. Just imagine, 50 billion split 32 times. 50 billion split 30. Y'all making more. Y'all out here printing money, and y'all got part-time referees. Understand? Why would you pay a part-time employee $300,000, $400,000? That's what refs make. You're gonna pay somebody $400,000, make them a full-time employee so you can cut down on these mistakes and stop using the mistakes as points of interest. Go talk to me about that game. Let me get a Cowboy point of view.
Yeah, I got you. Hey, Adrian, I ain't trying to, be that guy. But at around like 8:30, I gotta head off here, man. I promised the baby girl Genghis grill, but it's all good. But
we almost done. We don't even got to
I got you. I got you. But hey, I'm passionate. So, that Lions and Detroit Pistons. Hey, I'm still getting my views up. I made a whole video about that Brad Allen situation. A-Trap, check it out if you haven't. And then y'all people, y'all check that out. But man, let me tell y'all, Dan Campbell, you had 3 attempts to go for a field goal. That's one. Secondly, even though they didn't call you on I believe it was an illegal formation. You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to cap. If I was a Cowboys fan, nigga, I would have been hotter than hell if that was us. You talking about I don't think that ref, I don't think Brian Allen would have made it to his car without them D-Town steppers would have. Hey, we would have, it would have got real bad. It would have, and if you don't believe me, y'all ask the referee that made that catch against Dez Bryant that said it wasn't a catch 10 years ago. And I'm 26. That shit when I was 16, I'm still yelling it was a catch. That's besides the point. I think Dallas Cowboys, I ain't gonna lie. We have an issue, obviously. Our play caller, Mike McCarthy. When I tell you, why would you throw the ball? You threw the ball, and I'm like, now we gonna give him a chance. And I ain't gonna lie. The way Dan Campbell looked like a mad man. Like Dan Campbell seriously looked like, like, okay, somebody needs to check on him. He was sitting there on the goal line you can tell he wasn't about to go for that field goal bullshit. He was like, no, nigga, we gonna take it home. Brad Allen, did he mess up? Absolutely. Now, I had to do my research, but this is different from basketball, where you got to go to the shot clock, to the check in, check out, like they damn near pause the play. In football, you can run out there, but you got to report as eligible. You got to say, hey, ref, or you can say, hey, report. Hey, I'm here. Hey, this, that, and the third, right? Brad Allen left. Yes. Decker seems like he reported. He's like, hey, I'm right here. But 68, big ass, was in the way. So I'm not quite sure. Maybe he got confused. And obviously, as you can see, Brad Allen and his team got demoted because they said, you ain't doing that shit no more. You ain't doing no high-profile games no more. They trying to, me personally, I'm in full support of refs getting fines. We can talk about it a whole nother day. But the Detroit Lions versus Cowboys game, I feel like that was a tough-nosed game, and I knew the Lions was going to be tough. And you got to remember, seen the Lions been good whatsoever. Mind you, I was there with Matt Stanford, which is a Texas boy. I was there with Calvin Johnson. You know what I'm saying? So I've been there, and I never thought I would see the year that the Lions be good. They're still going to be in the playoffs. Don't worry. We fuck around and see them in the playoffs. So they may, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, I'm glad we got the win. If you're a Cowboys fan, you shouldn't be too happy about it. But I mean, we got the win, but that was a bad call at the end. But I mean, when have there's not been bad calls? Like I said, with that Dez Bryant, definitely a catch. They didn't want to report. Not A-Rap, go ahead, because I'm gonna just talk about that catch the whole damn episode. Cause shit, I'm still pissed off.
Oh, it's
about
good,
that.
man. See, I'm gonna get through it so we get to the other two topics. Okay. The reason I have a problem with this is two reasons I have a problem with this.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, when you're reporting in as an eligible receiver, you don't have to actually say this. And then I found out this week that the referees and the coaches actually have a meeting before the game. So the referees actually know every trick play that you're about to run, and you tell them how you're going to run it. The reason.
Hey, this ain't Michael Irvin. Hey, this ain't Michael Irvin, but it should be. But it's all right. But go ahead.
It's all good. Yeah, but see, that's the thing. They meet with the refs before the game, and they announce what the trick plays are. The thing is, this is the problem with the whole thing, CJ. This is why you need full-time refs. You meet with the refs and say, these are the trick plays that we're going to run, and this is how we're going to do it. And when you're coming in as an eligible offensive lineman, you don't have to say, hey, it's me. You just do this. Because you can't let them know you're the eligible receiver. You just wipe it down. It was a major league trick, and it was human error. This comes down to human error because what they did to fool the Cowboys, they kept running number 70 out there and having him check in. 70 check in, 70 check in. So when dude saw 70 running at him, he immediately, muscle memory made him say 70. So he didn't acknowledge 68. Human error. But if you have a whole life outside of football, you cannot be a authentic God, honest to God, best possible ref you can be. Let's go.
No. And I'm sorry to cut you off, but didn't they have the audio report of Dan Campbell was like, nigga, basically saying, nigga, I told you.
Yeah, because they have a meeting. Like exactly.
Yeah, he was like, bro, I told you I was going to do something like this.
Yes, because they meet the refs before the game. The refs know all their secrets. So that's why the refs need to be full-time. Because if you didn't have a life outside of football professionally, then you'd have remembered that they said they were going to run that trick. The reason I'm like you brought up your coach. The reason I'm disappointed in the coach, I'm not really disappointed in the coach. I'm disappointed in the pro football. This goes back, you run the win, you throw the score. This is why Dak Prescott, people need to get up off his back. Mm-hmm. I'm not caping for Dak. I am a gigantic Dak Prescott fan. I wanted him to be a Bear or a Raider. Those are the teams that I support. Chicago Bears, I'm a Chicago citizen. And the Raiders is the team that I chose for myself. The reason this is the Dallas Cowboys do not run the football at all. They run the football as an option, not as a necessity. If you this is why, if you look at it from the perspective of the Dallas Cowboys are not running the football well. But Dak is playing way above expectations. This means Dak is playing some of the best football in the National Football League, quarterback in the National Football League, and nobody's talking about it. If the Cowboys lose, even if Dak has a solid game, it's Dak's fault. I understand the quarterback gets all the praise, so he won't get all the blame, but we're going to stop criticizing Dak because he is playing way above what we expected of him. Everybody want to harken back to last year when we had all these turnovers again. If you're running the ball as a play instead of running the ball to bludgeon the other team, this is why the Cowboys keep finding themselves in these close games, because if it's a close game, they're going to lose. I personally believe they're going to lose, not because they're not good enough, because they're not physical enough. Football is a physical game. As of the 1st of November, it's all physicality. Shout out to the Cowboys for winning. Dan Campbell lost it. The refs blew the call. Dan Campbell lost the game because they're supposed to win it to overtime, and you were supposed to see who had the toughest will. Can anybody beat the 49ers right now in the NFC?
Now I was going to say, hey, now, mind you, we did look. Bro, if we have to play the 49ers for the third, I'm going to lose I'm going to just be like, God, you know what? Hey, mind you, the first time it was Jimmy Garoppolo. The second time last year, it was Brock Purdy. And obviously it's going to be Brock Purdy again and Deebo Samuels and them boys, Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey, which was a MVP runner-up. My God. You know what? Now, you know who did beat the 49ers? The Ravens did. Obviously, the MVP this year, because I thought it was all in the run. Hey, they were saying it was all – there was – at one point, if y'all don't remember, they were saying, oh, it's between Jalen Hurts, Dak, Lamar, I heard somebody say Tyreek Hill. Yeah, Purdy, Christian McCaffrey. Now there's no doubt that man went in. Hey, he went in, y'all. Hey, and that was a away game. He went in, y'all. Hey, Deion Sanders got that song he likes to play. Hey, it's a song.
Play my theme music.
Hey, walking your trap, take over your trap. That's exactly what Lamar Jackson did. He went over there and he started launching them things. I honestly think we damn near seen a resurgence of the OBJ we used to know out there in the Giants. And if y'all don't remember, OBJ from about 2017 to 2019 or 2016 to 2019, for them 3 years, nigga was on fire. So I honestly feel like we could, like, if we had to play, and not just we, the 49ers can be beat. Brock Purdy, and I'm not going to cap, he's somewhat an average at times, above average quarterback. So basically, he's no better than Dak Prescott. He just got more weapons. You got Deebo Samuels. You got Christian McCaffrey.
I'm gonna cut you off there. He's not even in He's not in Dak Prescott's class. If you take Brock Purdy,
that's fine.
He's not that. The 49ers are going to be tough to beat because they are playing football the way I said football needs to be played. It's a physical sport. If you out-physical somebody, you're going to beat them more times than not. If you press them for the physicality, you take them down. That's everybody in all of football. It's not a fluke. It's not a coincidence. If the Dallas Cowboys toughen up, which they'll be stepping out of character, but you run the win, you throw the score. The people who run footballs win football games after November 1st. It is a tried and true situation. I don't care where you are, how long it is. Talk to me about the Philadelphia Eagles, and then we're going to close this thing out. I'm going to give you 2 questions, then we're going to close it out. What's going on with the Philadelphia Eagles, and do you have any confidence in the Kansas City Chiefs?
Gotcha. Let me start with the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. You know, we have a blood history with the Eagles. And if you remember back in the 90s, hey, this is some shit my dad told me, so I didn't know it. My dad was obviously by the way, my dad in the 90s was the same age I am now. So I remember this shit. So, he remembered this shit. They used to do the whole, you remember they used to have them hitmans, see who can injure? That's what the Eagles had against Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, and when Michael Irvin got hurt, you know, everybody, you know, that's why we got it. Hey, that's why we got disdain for the Eagles. That's why we hate them motherfuckers to the day we got them die. But with that being said, the Eagles, Jalen Hurts out now. Mind you, Jalen Hurts is a Houston, Texas boy. You know what I'm saying? Boy went to, you know, so he a Texan guy. With that being said, Jalen Hurts, I feel like, you know, it kind of, yeah, you recall that, yeah. You know, right. So Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, I feel like they're kind of, I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs, but they're finding themselves now. I feel like they've had a couple of losses that kind of had them snap back into reality. And I've been saying this. The Eagles, before they started their 3-game losing streak, they barely skated by. They barely skated by the Commanders. They barely skated by. Well, first off, they took a loss to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, we don't fuck with them Eagles around here. The way they was putting hits on Troy Aikman, LA, he's a GOAT. Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? But so, anyway, yeah, the Eagles, they need to find their way. If they want to go far, I don't feel like they're going to get past. I don't feel like they're going to get past. Yeah, because the Eagles have been, listen, it's crazy because they got the weapons. They have the quarterback. They have A.J. Brown. They have Devontae Smith. But at the end of the day,
Julio Jones.
Yes. Hey, at the end of the day, I feel like they're not the same. they've just been struggling so bad, and they barely have been scraping by. And at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie, Jalen Hurts has been exposed towards the end of this season, and I kept saying that. I said, bro, Jalen Hurts is as only good as, like he is as only good as his team. He's not like a Dak Prescott that can be a little bit one up and he can get you there. So, I feel like Jalen Hurts got some self-reflecting, but at the end of the day, I ain't gonna lie. Playoff NFL football is for real. Same thing with and A-Rep, I know you remember this last thing I'm gonna say. I'm doing basketball reference. Do you remember? Do you remember people used to say like playoff Miami? LeBron was for real. Like for real. That's So we need to see what the Philadelphians are made of during the playoffs. They may snap back, but I don't believe it. That whole Philly shove shit, that Philadelphia with them goddamn cheesesteaks and shit, y'all niggas can eat that on that L y'all gonna take. But go ahead, bro.
Yeah. In regards to the Philadelphia Eagles, I believe they see that defense is suspect. The secondary is suspect. They got a tough front seven. The linebackers are nice. The defensive linemen are nice. They down one defensive lineman, but that secondary is super suspect. And one of the things, again, it goes back to attrition. You ain't got to believe me. Watch the games. The reason they keep blowing these games is because when you run the ball, you tire out the defense. If the defense isn't tired out, then you won't be able to do it. They don't run the ball as efficiently as they did last year. I do believe CJ. I do believe Jalen Hurts is an authentic quarterback. But again, we cannot ask like me. I play DB. Don't ask me to be a defensive end. Don't ask me to be a middle linebacker. I was never big enough to be a defensive end and middle linebacker. I didn't like the position. When you ask these black quarterbacks who have been playing using their athletic ability as well as their arm for their entire life, now you want me to sit in the pocket and be Tom Brady? I'm not going to be as efficient, and that's what
Peyton Manning.
You cannot ask Brock Purdy to run some of those some of those Jalen Hurts plays. Ask him to be Dak Prescott. Ask him to be Lamar Jackson. He's not going to be Brock Purdy. Y'all must do it. Yeah. But that's what the problem is with Philadelphia. You taking them out of that element, the offensive. That's what happened to good teams. Your players get purged, your coaches get purged. The offensive coordinator went on to be a head coach somewhere. So it's going to be a different situation. The only teams that keep their situations that way is teams that are grooming. Not only they're grooming their players, they're grooming their assistant coaches and things of that nature. This is why DeMeco Ryans, he has a guy who was groomed by the head coach of San Francisco, and they're running the same plays, and hopefully they're grooming somebody. The Ravens are good that way because they continue to have grooming people. They had Wink Martindale. They had other people who are defensive minded, and they keep their Ravens facade. That's why Coach T up in Pittsburgh. This situation is a turnover situation because we know if we got CJ running our defense and the Chicago Bears need a coach, who they gonna call? They're gonna call CJ first, and then the Cowboys will be asked out. We must. This is why they hurry up and swept what Tom Brady said under the rug. Yeah, well, the coaching is down, and the players they're not being coached properly, and that's why the NFL product isn't as quality as it used to be. And with that being said, we're gonna do Kansas City, and then two fingers, one word. You're gonna announce, you're gonna get the people who you are, how to support you, and then we out of here, man.
Gotcha. All right.
Real or not?
Chiefs. Hell no, they ain't that team no more. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, since Travis Kelce got with that goddamn baby girl, Taylor Swift, hey, he ain't been the same. Hey, and you know what? Hey, Travis Scott. I'm about to say Travis Scott. That's a rapper in Houston, Texas. Yeah. Travis Kelce act like the nigga. Like when your girl come to your game, you gotta share. You gotta. Boy, I ain't seen Travis Kelce hit a goddamn boy. Travis Kelce is no better than like Jason Witten. Jason Witt used to catch the ball. He used to think he running. Nigga only getting 5 yards. You know what I'm saying? So Travis Kelce, baby, because his baby girl watching, he feel like he got to put on the show. But Patrick Mahomes with them mistakes, Kadarius Toney, that's my guy. But boy, he needs some serious. You know what I'm saying? Right. But with the Kansas City Chiefs, they've been dominant for so long, and this is all I'm gonna say. They've been dominant for so long, the NFL has caught up. Just like with the Golden State Warriors, the NBA has caught up. Now we're realizing you're gonna pull it from the NBA logo. So guess what? We're gonna have somebody right there with you to make that shot a little difficult. And yeah, Swifty killing his momentum. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about the Chiefs. I feel like everybody is figuring out the Chiefs now, and it's not no surprise no more. That's why they keep taking these L's.
The reason I think the Kansas City Chiefs, because I know you got to go. The reason I think I don't think it's Taylor Swift, but it does seem funny. But look. At first, the beginning of the season, they won 7 in a row, and then they lost when she didn't show up. And since she been coming, they've been getting their brains kicked out. But hey, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. But the problem is, it goes what I said about the Philadelphia Eagles. You take away Eric Bieniemy, and he was the whipping post. He was the overseer. He was the dude who held people's feet to the fire. And now they don't have that coach. Again, as we stated in boxing, you don't want nobody. You don't want your coach. Come on, CJ, please. Man, you're gonna have to keep that left up, man. Or you're gonna say, hey, you want the coach to say, look, CJ, I see you drop your left again. You're gonna hit that, you're gonna jump rope for 2 hours. You're gonna give me 45 minutes on the road. Or you're gonna give me this. It's penalizing. You could tell Eric Bieniemy made a difference when he got to Washington. The guys in Washington said, I don't like the way he's talking to me. He was talking to those boys in KC the same way, holding your feet to the fire, holding you accountable for your actions and your abilities. You're going to play up to your level or you're not going to play. Andy Reid is not that guy. So that's why the league has caught up with them. But again, let's look at it this way. Look. Patrick Mahomes is still killing. Jalen Hurts is still killing. The front 7 in Philadelphia is killing. Somewhere the Kansas City Chiefs have pulled defense right out their backside. But here's the difference. Both those teams don't have a running back. Again, CJ, when you get all you need is somebody to flinch. Patrick Mahomes, when you flinch, Patrick Mahomes putting it in Kelsey's hands. And Kelsey, and he going to hit his head on the goalpost. He going to slip and slide and take it to the house. These wide receivers, they not built for it tough. Jalen Hurts don't have nobody to soften up the defense so he can make the throws. Is he the most accurate thrower in the world? No, he is not. But when you have that running back there, to make you respect this, what you do is you slow down the defense. The defense is not slowing down for Hurts. The defense is not slowing down for Patrick Mahomes. Therefore, they're getting their draws kicked in their behind. With that being said, man, thank you for coming on. For those who don't know, you see this. CJ Plays, go to YouTube, subscribe to my man CJ Plays. This is my man. He's welcome back. Hey, man, you worked your whole life to be a starter. Now you at the end of the bench. You're a bench now, homeboy. Good to see you. If you want to come back, you're welcome. 2 fingers, 1 word. This H right there, CJ, and I'm out.
Jesus. I mean.